this is DJ Tamara back with you with another Third Strike Rock Show coming at you. Hope you guys are ready for yet another great program. We've got some announcements, some music news, another Did You Know section, and an interview with the band called Kamunique out of Florence, Texas. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to kick it off with a tune called All I Want Is You by Austin Smooth Gospel out of Cedar Park, Texas.
with questions unanswered. Lord, I come to you with burdens so heavy I could barely carry on. But Lord, I know you're here to rescue the wounded. Oh Lord, I know you're here with power and mercy. I know you will carry me. Help me fix my eyes on you, my Lord. Help me do what pleases you, Jesus. I just want to be with you, and all I want is you. Lord, I come to you with questions unanswered. Ooh, Lord, I come to you with burdens so heavy I could barely carry on. But Lord, I know you're Lately all I think about you. Even if it isn't meant to be. If you need me, you know where to find me. I've got a confession to make. No one has ever made me feel this way. I never thought I'd see the day that I'd love you. I think it's about time that you know the things I should have said a long time ago. It's nothing I expect you to believe, but if you want me, you know where I'll be. I've got a confession to make. No one has ever made me feel this way. I never thought I'd see the day that I'd love you. I've got a confession to make. No one has ever made me feel this way. And I just thought that I should say that I love you. That I love you. I just thought that I should say. 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 So I owe in love. So I owe in love. So I owe in love with you. So I owe in love. So I owe in love. So I owe in love with you.
right, guys, we had some great tunes in that set. We had, kicking it off after Austin Smooth Gospel, we had Spider Rockets out of New Jersey with a song called Break. Then we went right into Sharp Star out of Paducah, Kentucky with Confession, and we wrapped that up with one of my personal favorites, Patoirlove out of Portland, Oregon, with a song called Don't Wait. Alright, and now is a section of my show called Did You Know? Did you know that this week is National Pie Championships Week? That is correct. The 2015 American Pie Council National Pie Championships will take place at the Carib Royale in Orlando, Florida. Amateur pie makers, professional bakers, chefs, and commercial pie companies from around the country and Canada have been competing at the NPC since 1995. The APC has created a standard of quality in pie making on all levels. They have a well-established record in the pie judging field for both amateur bakers, professionals, and commercial bakers alike. Their commercial members have shown that winning an APC award can substantially increase sales and market share in that category, and the competition gets tougher each year. Come to the Amateur Professional Awards ceremony on Saturday, April 11th at 6 p.m. at the Carib Royale's Caribbean Ballroom 5. They will be selling slices of pie to benefit Give Kids the World. Enter their apron contest. All you have to do is just show up with your apron and watch the Iron Chef competition. Doesn't it make you hungry for a piece of pie? It does me. And now, on to some more tunes. In this 4-song set, you are going to hear Escape Infinity by the Tryptics out of New York City. Then we're going to go right into the Prettiest Meltdown with a song called Go. They are also out of New York City, and yet another New York City artist after that. Anonymous by nature with their tune, I'll Say This Much. Then we will wrap it up with Little Man by the Kevin Lucas Orchestra out of Carbondale, Illinois. Enjoy, folks.
We try our best to harmonize. to be. Away from home to escape infinity. Sounds of dissonance that we may choose to amplify, all at the expense of the
right, guys, hope you enjoyed that set. We wrapped that up, like I said, with Kevin Lucas Orchestra. They are one of my favorite Third Strike rock bands. We're going to go right into a little bit of music news here. Gwen Stefani has a 3-year restraining order as of recently against stalker Richard Portnoy. The protection order comes just weeks after her father sought his own order, which protects the entire family, after her stalker turned up on his and his wife's property on a couple of occasions in February. According to TMZ, Portnoy has bombarded the star with flowers, chocolates, cards, and letters at both her home and her father's, even reading out loud a letter explaining his feelings for the married mother of 3 when he came face to face with her father on one particularly scary occasion. There are some crazy people in this world, folks. Be careful.
Shines on my face, and I have no grace. And I see you looking at me, but I have nothing to say, oh, nothing at all.
decirme que soy yo también, que soy algo más, que soy algo más, que soy parte y parte de allá. Siento y veo crecer un sentimiento. Siento, creo y voy viviendo. Pasando y siento acá mi corazón. Creo el más allá. Un día por vivir y siento el día ya vivir. Renacer en mi interior y en el mundo.
Let's crack open a beer. Let's watch the race car chase its tail round the turn. They disappear. Wave goodbye to all their friends. 'Cause there's children in jail, there's women crying all the time. But I hope you'll stay a while. And you put your armor on, and you build things with your hands. You turn that house into a home. Some look for what was there. 'Cause we all sleep too much. We miss sunrises all the time, and we never seem to care. But don't you go down the river, don't you go down today. Tread the water until the riptide takes you away. And I saw a shooting star, so I decided to shoot back. Watched it reach tree up to come, where all our wishes start to collide. I wondered which one was north, so I could find you all the time, just by the light you leave behind. And now we can't live forever, yeah, we all burn out someday. I know you'll shine forever, I hope she'll be okay.
We're Sandpit generals, that is our name. Our life is here, our home is here. By 7 winds our stories came. We'll sleep in tears, we're battling fears. We're Sandpit generals, that is our name. By 7 winds our stories came. I started out in the city slums, and tender words I never heard. You and your kid would play with plastic guns, while I would starve and nearly froze. Don't look away from me, don't hate my world, for none of this could ever be my fault. You knew your mother's kindness and caress. I knew not mine, and just at night, one golden dreams is all a child has. My mother came to me in shiny lights. Oh my, if only I could meet with you, my load would surely get much lighter too. The land of villas and skyscrapers high, from every window, blinding light. If I could only gather all my might, not one my claim would be denied. So open doors, let me into your world, for none of this has ever been my fault.
Alright guys, we had another 4-song awesome rockin' set for you guys. We kicked it off with Dark Moon Apache out of New York City with a song called My Oracle. Then we had Victor Pez out of Denver, Colorado with Plasmado We had the Academics, another one out of New York. They're actually out of Brooklyn, New York, and that was called River Song. Then we ended off that set with Sandpit Generals by a band called Spikey Apples out of Travis, Staten Island.
Bring your family and friends to Discovery Green on Saturday, April 11th as Air Alliance Houston and Waste Management bring you the 10th annual Earth Day Houston celebration. This free event is open to the public and will feature food trucks, live music, and interactive booths, where you can learn about sustainable living in Houston. To lessen our carbon footprint, we will be providing a free bike valet provided by Bike Houston and complimentary water refill stations provided by Culligan. Visit our exciting lineup of interactive zones and booths from companies like Urban Harvest, Whole Earth Provision Company, Yelp, and Dawn Yoga. The kids stage will feature performances, story time, and fun exercises like kids yoga and Zumba. Waste Management will provide eco-friendly waste stations for recycling and composting, and Friends of Foam will have a polystyrene recycling booth, so bring your clean packing foam. Experience Houston's eclectic food trucks for a truly unique meal. Relax in our beer garden with beverages provided by St. Arnold Brewery, or relax in the wine lounge provided by Messina Hoff Winery. Local Houston bands such as Lost Element and Verse City will be performing all day long. For 10 years, Earth Day Houston has celebrated and preserved the city we love, and this year will be the biggest yet. You won't want to miss it. Want more info? Go to www.earthdayhouston.org or connect with us on Facebook.
All right, and now for some announcements. Build a Better Planet will be at Earth Day Houston in Houston, Texas on April 11th. That is tomorrow, folks, at Discovery Green in downtown Houston from 11 to 5. Come enjoy this fabulous day of fun for the whole family with exhibitors, children's activities, food, and live music. This is a free event for the family brought to you by Air Alliance Houston and Waste Management. Then, on Sunday, April 12th, just in a few days from now, Build a Better Planet, Third Strike Radio, Third Strike Rock, and Third Strike and Espanole's Night of Rock is at the House of Blues in Houston, Texas, at the Houston Pavilions, 1204 Caroline Street in downtown Houston, starting at 8 p.m. This amazing performance for Build a Better Planet will feature 4 awesome bands, and we'll also have Movin' Melvin Brown as a special act. Tickets are $12 and can be purchased online or at the door. Also, Build a Better Planet will be at Earth Day New York in Manhattan, New York City on April 19th at Union Square. From 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., come enjoy this fabulous day of fun for the whole family with exhibitors, children's activities, food, and live music. This is a free event for the family. And Build a Better Planet would like to thank Ruggles Green and Harvest Organic Grill for being a part of our Earth Day Houston giveaway.
At Harvest Organic Grill, our goal is to provide you with a delicious dining experience comprised of healthy, natural, sustainable, and fresh ingredients. We maintain the nutritional value of our dishes by applying slow cooking methods instead of using a microwave or deep fryer. We cater to those with food aversions by offering 36 gluten-free, 25 vegetarian, and 27 dairy-free dishes. Vegan options are also available. We strive to go above and beyond your typical restaurant by serving you the highest quality products. Himalayan salt and alkaline water are provided at your table. To complement your meal, we offer 16 raw fruit and vegetable juices. Our wild-caught fish, all-natural chicken, and premium meat selections are naturally low in calories and saturated fat. It is indulgent food without the guilt. Come visit our 2 Houston area locations, in the Galleria area at 1810 Fountain View Drive, and in the West Chase District at 11681 Westheimer. You can visit us online at www.harvestgrill.com. That's www.harvestgrill.com.
All right, guys, next is my favorite news segment of my show, where I have a station ID, an interview, and a song from a band that has been played on this program, Third Strike Rock, at any point. We have an interview with Kamunique, which just so happens to be a band that I've been honored to be in for a while as well. I'm actually one of the co-founders. So, and we are playing at the showcase on Sunday at House of Blues. So let's get right into it. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy the interview. We've got one more tune to wrap it up after the interview and a few more announcements. Hey, this is Kamunique, and you are listening to Third Strike Rock. Hey, this is DJ Tamara back with you on Third Strike Rock, and we're to the part of my show that I love, which is doing band interviews. This one, we've got the pleasure of having Greg with us from White Truck Band to do the interview, because this is actually a band that I'm honored to be in called Kamunique. So we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Greg from White Truck. Thank you for coming, Greg.
Hey, thanks, well, welcome, guys, to Third Strike Rock. Let's get started here. Let's introduce the guys in the band. Why don't you start?
My name is Tammy, and I am one of the co-founders, and I do a lot of the admin duties for the band, and I'm the singer.
Michael Arclight, bassist, composer. I guess that's it.
My name is Richard, and I basically do the horns. I specify in the saxophone family as well as the flute.
Hi, my name's Rob Hernandez. I'm the drummer, also percussionist, also take care of booking the band and website and anything behind the scenes.
My name's Chris. I do the electric guitar.
Okay, who started the band and when was it?
Well, I co-formed the band back in January of 2008 with our first guitar player, Tim, and yeah, that's when. Well,
okay.
And Richard, I kind of see him as kind of one of the co-founders now too, because he was our first member that we had.
Okay, so this is not the original lineup.
It's not.
Okay, why did you create Kamunique?
We created Kamunique because we would go downtown and listen to a lot of bands, and we thought a lot of what we heard sounded like one long song, and we wanted to also not only have a band that created music that was, each song sounded different from the next, but that it was also a combination of rock and fusion and ambience and all different kinds of styles, maybe some reggae and all this, but also included a spiritual aspect to it as well, to give people a positive message.
Okay, how long have each one of you guys been in the band?
I'm just filling in for this one gig, so I've only been in the band for just like maybe a month or so.
Cool. What about you, Rob?
I've been in it since 2009, roughly about a year after the band had already been in existence.
Okay, Richard?
Well, I've been with the band since it started in, I think around January of 2008, when Tammy and Tim at the time, who was the other co-founder, put an ad in the Austin Chronicle, and I answered, and so I've been here since that time.
I've been with the band for about a year.
About a year.
A little over a year.
Okay.
And I've been in it since it started.
Okay. Mike, what's the genre of the band?
We tend to call it world fusion. It's a combination of all types of music, African, soca, jazz fusion, rock, punk. Yeah, you name it. We've pretty much touched on it. We're trying to be the type of band that doesn't consistently do just one style.
Okay.
As soon as we get through one idea, we want to go on to another one. So we might jump from an African tune to a Celtic feel to a rock feel, or combine them all into one piece. You never know.
Yes.
So you guys play originals and covers?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. On your cover tunes, how do you pick them?
Those are usually picked by the band. We like to call them choice covers because we choose the covers that we want to do. And they're going to be covers that not too many other cover bands are doing.
Okay.
Stuff that the crowds have heard, they are familiar with, but they just don't see other cover bands covering them.
Okay.
Well, and also I'd like to add to that not only do we do that, but we also like to include covers that have sax. because not a lot of cover bands, are going to do songs that have sax because they don't necessarily have a sax player. So that's kind of in our benefit as well when we pick them.
Who writes the originals in Kamunique?
All of us.
Oh,
Definitely
We
all
all
of
do.
us. It used
Everybody
to be,
brings in ideas and we build on it.
Yes. Originally it was myself and our guitar player, but since it's evolved over the past year, it definitely has become a lot more of a collaborative effort.
Yes.
Absolutely.
okay. Well, so what's the process of writing your material?
Well, usually
Bring an idea.
Yeah, someone brings an idea. We start up from there, and we just kind of build on that. I kind of consider myself maybe building the horn section, if you will. I'm a follower much more than I'm a leader in as far as doing originals. Someone comes in with an idea. I love to hear as that process begins. Then I add my stuff, and we in this band consist of great musicians, and I kind of build off of them, and then just go on from there.
Well, what's your interests besides Kamunique? What's your interests? Well, for the audience, what do you?
As far as listening to music, or
Sure,
my interests are really spread out. My dad was a jazz drummer. Mom played classical piano, so I kind of grew up in a family full of musicians. So I listen to literally everything from hip hop to country, jazz to jazz fusion, classical of all types. I think I'm unencumbered. I listen to anything. If it's good music, it's good music.
Well, for me, I'm kind of the same way. I love to listen to all kinds of styles. I come basically from Hispanic culture, and I remember when my folks would get together, and believe it or not, my mother would play either trumpet or trombone while my dad played the harmonica. We'd sing coritos and Spanish little songs, and we just have one fun time together. And I believe from that gave me the spirit of spirit of music within me. And then before I knew it, I was listening to classical and beginning to understand that, and from there it evolved to jazz. And of course, I grew up with the 80s and the 70s rock and roll in high school. So yes, my interest as far as that's concerned is just everything, and that helps me to build my ideas.
My interests musically, they vary also from 70s rock, some of the great rock that came out of that era, 80s rock, a lot of the metal, a lot of the I guess fusion that started coming out during that time period, and into today's music. There's some great musicians out there that just aren't getting the recognition they should, or maybe they are, but it varies, my musical interests.
For me, I like everyone else here, I listen to a variety of different stuff, but the one thing that it all has in common is it has to have some kind of a story behind the making of it, whether it's like an actual story that it tells, or maybe it's something the musicians were going through, or something that the person who's like recommending it to me, something that it means to them. Because I think anyone can write a good sounding song or a really technically impressive song, but for it to have, what makes a song special to me is what went into the making of it, or what the human experience that was put into it that's external of that.
Okay.
And for me, I'm definitely influenced by the singers that when you hear them, you know that it's them. Like Pat Benatar or George Michael or Kate Bush. That it's them when you hear them singing. I'm very heavily influenced by the male vocalists of the 80s. Like the singer from Dokken and George Michael and Simon Le Bon from Duran Duran. And Kate Bush is definitely one of my biggest influences as well.
Well, what keeps you guys together as a band?
Okay, well, I'll start that one off. We could go around the room. What keeps me in Kamunique is the vision that we had when we started this. I cannot seem to shake it. And no matter what I do, I cannot seem to give up on the vision of Kamunique.
Okay.
I like to compose unencumbered pieces and like playing with musicians that are unencumbered.
There you go.
Good answer.
Well, it just gives me a chance to experiment with my feelings as far as diving into the music. I don't like to be put in a box, and in fact, I tell my wife that if whenever I pass, I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated so that my ashes can be spreaded. Because for me, being put, I mean, I'm not trying to sound crazy, but this is how I look out on life. You know, putting me in boxes again, confining me, and I don't like that. You know, and music for me is an expression of unconfinement. You know, I can hear the same song from day to day, but it may mean something different because I'm going through a different experience, and something may touch my heart at the time. And for me, again, that's something out of the box. Honestly, it's also hard for me to work with musicians that only say, well, we can only contain our music within this type of genre, or you can't, be careful, don't step over toes, or you know, well, we don't want you to get that loud here. Again, you know, you're putting me in a box, and honestly, I don't think that that's the way God made me, because it's just not the way I sing, so to speak. So that's why I stay with Kamunique, because I have, I mean, yes, we do have form, we do have things that we do follow, but then again, it's not limiting. So that's what
It's a vision on a long journey that we've all been taking most of our lives, and now we're on the same path. And we're going to stay on the path as long as we can.
Yep.
And take the music in that direction.
I like it because it allows me to play different stuff, different styles that I don't normally get to play in other bands. It tests me. It makes me play stuff that I've heard, and it allows me the freedom to express an idea through a certain style of music. And not only that, but a lot of times I'm able to combine one or two or even more styles of music to create something different, something that we like to call world fusion. And
it's like the Yogi Berra syndrome. Yogi Berra says, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. That's what we do.
Yeah. Christopher?
Oh, for me, I mean, unfortunately, I won't be staying with these guys for too long, but I love jamming with these guys, though, just because it's an interesting thing, because in any given one of their songs, like, I really can't just sit here and just, like, compose a specific part. I pretty much just, for most of these songs, I pretty much just have to kind of go into them and just go, because they're very free form. A lot of them are very, they have this real, just kind of organic feel to them. So it's a interesting thing for me, because I'm used to really, I'm used to really rigidly made stuff. So.
Well, what's some of the favorite places you guys have played? Some of the good gigs, some of the good times.
I got one. All right. I mentioned this to the guys earlier. My absolute favorite gig that we did, because it was so ballsy of us to do. There was this contest of nothing but cover bands. We were actually accepted for it, and they knew that we were an all-original band. And we played it, and we almost won. We almost beat all the cover bands out, and we were the only all-original band. And that was at
Contenders
many years ago.
Many years ago.
But we actually have a letter from them stating how entertaining we were that day.
Yes. My favorite gig, I would have to say, would be the first gig that I did with Kamunique. It was at Dale's. The reason being is I went into this gig, it was a 3-hour gig. I went into this gig of all original music. I went into this gig not knowing what I'm going to be playing, but I said, I can do it. And it came off sounding great, I think.
Yes, it did.
You know, obviously it did. I'm still with the band. But for me, that was my favorite gig. Kept me on my toes. I did not know exactly what to expect from song to song.
I have to just kind of preface what Rob just said because I was the one that called him. He had a Craigslist ad for being a percussionist, and Tim and I were absolutely desperate to find a drummer for the next night for that gig, and our drummers bailed on us. And so I called him, his number was in there, and I said, hey, we got this all-original band, we've got a gig tomorrow night for 3 hours, and we really need a drummer to fill in. And he said, well, do you have any recordings of your music? And I said, nope. And then he goes, okay. And I said, well, and it's not going to pay anything, we're not getting paid. And he said, well, if you can give me some gas money, that's great. So he shows up and plays 3 hours worth of original material, unlike any other drummer that had played our music prior to that.
With no practice?
With no practice.
The good old days.
What was your favorite gig, Richard?
I think would have to be the Dale's outhouse, whatever it was called. I can't remember.
Dale's outhouse.
Easton House.
Easton House. There you go.
Gosh.
But anyway, that was yeah, because I didn't know what we were going to do.
Your mind's always in the crapper.
Anyway, but I didn't know what we were going to do with a new drummer. Now, honestly, I was kind of nervous, but oh well, it'll just come together, and it did. And I can think of other places that you know, when we just shined out.
Oh.
And
I've got another one.
go ahead, Rob.
The Rain Out gig.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
yeah.
you remember the Rain Out gig,
Yeah.
Richard? Okay, we have some really good photos from the Rain Out gig because there was a professional photographer there. It was wasn't that a fashion show thing?
Yes, it was.
It was a fashion show, and we played. It was a benefit concert, and we played, and we got there, and we got a lot of heat from the models because of the way that you know, we had set up the PA system, and I made it very clear that, well, it needs to be that way. So we went ahead and we played, and we had no idea the weather was going to be that bad. And I mean, it got on some of our gear, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Yes, did.
bad.
Yeah, my favorite gig was Hanover's. Played
Oh.
Hanover's and
Yes.
Pflugerville.
That was
that
really
was
good.
fun. That was
Good
another
set.
fun one.
That was
And
a
people
good
were
set.
shocked because nobody expected what we came up there and played.
Nope.
Like, and when are you guys playing again? Don't know yet. We'll let you know.
That was a good one.
Well, on a little bit more serious note, what are the goals for Kamunique in the future?
Keep going.
Keep going.
To take over the world.
Yeah, to keep going. I have to agree with Michael on that because I just feel like, you know, over the years we've been hit with so much diversity and changes, and you know, and especially Rob and I and Richard over the years, we've really stuck together and said we're not giving up. And now we've got Michael, and he's not giving up. And fortunately, we've been blessed with having access to Christopher, you know, helping us with some fill-in gigs. But I guess our biggest goal, seriously, would be to find our next guitar player, because that is something we would like to solidify.
That's a good answer. Well,
And a keyboard player.
yeah.
Of course, keyboard players in Texas.
That would be nice.
That'd be nice, but it's difficult. It's really hard to find a good one.
Yeah.
Or tie down a good one. Let's put it that way.
Can
I got plenty of rope, but I
can
can't
I ask
get
a question of everyone?
keyboard player. Sure.
Okay, I want to go around the room and you guys say, what is your favorite Kamunique song and why? Christopher?
My favorite one. Let's see. Solido, definitely. That one is like, it's like running through like a jungle in outer space or something. It's like
Yeah, it's unfettered.
That's because that's the one I was talking. I think that's the one, if I remember right, where it's like all I have as my rhythm is a drum and a bass, but it sounds like I've got a whole string section or something. Something about it has this real intangible kind of a thing going. Like that, it just kind of takes me to a place.
Rob, what's your favorite?
Oh, I would have to say my favorite. Oh, there's a lot of them. Probably Letterman, just because it's got this good groove.
And I
Just
get to
kind
be
of
Willie.
jumps out and grabs you. There's many favorite ones, but that's the only one that comes to mind right now.
Nacho?
Well, Tammy, I hate to beat you to this one, but definitely You've Taken Everything is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
And
That's actually not my answer.
But I don't know. When I guess for me it's an address to life itself in general, because life. My dad had a saying that, well, if I may say it on public radio, but he basically said, life is like a whore. She'll treat you good, but in a moment she'll turn her back on you. And you know, I mean, you know, Dad had his way of saying things that really made me look at the reality of life. And life, it can do that way. Life can treat you well. And wham bam, all of a sudden it can turn its back on you. And I remember when we lost our daughter, was a very tragic time in my life. And it was also a very spiritual time in my life where basically I got closer to God, or either that or it was lose my mind. But that song definitely speaks to me about that. You know, life can take everything from you, and depending on where you are and how you're situated in life, will depend on how you're going to look at it and say, well, okay, life, you've taken everything from me, but you're not going to take me. I'm going to keep on going. And so this is why I like this song.
Awesome. Michael?
For me, it's a big toss-up because I threw 3 balls up in the air to be Nicola, Solito, and Letterman. Letterman because I get to be Will Lee for a song. Nicola because, well, I wrote it. And Solito for the very same reason that Chris likes it is it's interminably different. It doesn't speak to any one genre at all. I mean, if you try to pigeonhole that song, you make a big mistake because it'll change on you. Every time you listen to it, it's got a different feel. You know?
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be shocked with my answer. Walking. We have a song called Walking that Kamunique hasn't done in a very long time, and it's absolutely beautiful. Wow. I definitely want you to hear that sometime. And we've had people that have come up to us and they've cried after we've played it, and it talks about, it's a very, at the end of the song, you know how some songs you hear, you know, that there's a lot of sadness in it, but at the end there's a happy ending. There is no happy ending at the end of Walking. It's a song about a guy that's walking down a dark street, and he's crying out to God about how lonely and desperate he is, and he keeps on crying out to him, and at the end of the song he's still crying out. It's a very unresolved song, but it's very powerful.
Wow. Well, I've got one more question here. I'm sure everybody wants to know, where's your next gig? Where are y'all playing?
The House of Blues on Sunday, April 12th.
In Houston.
At 8 p.m.
Wow.
Come out and see us!
Should be a fun gig.
Shoot.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for coming out here and talking about Kamunique.
Thanks for interviewing us.
Thanks, Greg!
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
much, man.
I think there's going to be a song played, right, Tammy?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to play?
I'd be glad to. It's a song called The Audience that we wrote several years ago, and it really has a special meaning to me because when you're in a band and you go out and play to an audience, you never know how they're going to respond to you. Not necessarily that you're completely 100% vested in that, because if you're like we are in Kamunique, we're very solid in our mission and what we want to do. So we go out and we hope that you like us, but we find our audience. And so the audience is just written about, from a band standpoint, like what is the audience going to think of us, but it's also from the audience standpoint and what they're thinking about us. Like, what is this band about, and what do they write around, and what are they thinking, and what inspires them. So that's a song that we're going to hear.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. What is the audience waiting for? What do they think you have in store? What will the song be about? Who is the one you write around? Who can create a vision? Who can paint a picture? What is the earth all about? Why are we all here? God knows the answers. God knows the temptations we face. God knows our every pain in this God-forsaken place. Create a vision. Who can paint a picture? What is the earth all about? Why are we all here? When will the crowd turn and look away? When will they make the choice to leave? What will they be accepting to? What will their heart let in today? Who can create the earth and sea? Who can create a baby? What is this foolish world about? How can we make a difference here?
Ruggles Green is Houston's first certified green restaurant. Ruggles Green adheres to the strict guidelines of the Green Restaurant Association. Ruggles Green is a premium fast casual restaurant with no waiters, no valets, and no hassles. Just great food that is good for you. We serve original, delicious menu items such as the 98% lean buffalo burger, the wood-fired quinoa mac and cheese, and the very tasty veggie nut hemp burger. We also offer wood-fired organic pizzas that are heavenly. We're committed to Houston health food and a healthy environment. Join Ruggles Green for tasty organic food and wines. And check out our 5 Houston area locations. We're at Research Forest Drive and Lakeside Boulevard in the Woodlands, 748 East 11th Street in the Heights, 15903 City Walk in Sugar Land, 801 Town and Country Boulevard at City Center, and coming soon this spring, our new River Oaks location. Visit us online at www.rugglesgreen.com.
All right, Third Strike Rockers, this wraps up another episode of Third Strike Rock with DJ Tamara. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you are in the Houston area tomorrow, Saturday, April 11th, to come to the beautiful Discovery Green for Earth Day Houston. Build a Better Planet will be there. Come out and meet us. Also, on Sunday, April 12th, don't forget, at the House of Blues in Houston. Build a Better Planet is sponsoring a showcase of Third Strike Rock bands, to include Kamunique, Solitude Endeavor, Elise, and Espantapajos. It starts at 8 p.m. Don't miss it. The tickets are $12. You can get them online or you can get them at the door. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Third Strike Rock with Suave out of Heidelberg, Germany, with their tune called Wake Me Up. Can't wait to see you guys for another episode. For all of you listeners that keep coming back, thank you, and keep coming back. To all of you new listeners, thanks for joining us. And don't forget, all of the artists that I play on my program, you can find them on Facebook. So please do a search of them on Facebook, like their Facebook page, and give them a shout out, show them some love. Come back next time. Thanks again for tuning in.
Sonrisas llenas de odio y celos, religiosos rogando al cielo por sus pecados aquí en el suelo. Como Choco dice, mucha malicia dentro del alma. Tómalo bien tranquilo, tómalo con calma. Dentro de este sueño no quiero ser el dueño. Despiértame, mira que yo no quiero vivir dentro de este mundo que no es sincero. De la maldad, eso es lo primero. Despiértame, despiértame, despiértame ya. Dime que es un sueño y sácame de acá, porque aquí ya no alumbra el sol y dentro de las almas no existe claridad.